Welcome back. In this set of videos, we'll be looking at solving rational equations and inequalities. In this video, we're going to look at solving equations. And we're going to start out looking at the example, solve the equation 4 over x plus 3 plus 5 over 6 is equal to 23 over 18. Our steps that we're going to use to solve these is that we are first going to start by stating the excluded values. Then we're going to find the least common denominator, multiply both sides by the least common denominator to get rid of the denominator entirely. Then we'll solve the equation that we get, and then we will check our answers. While we're solving equations, we want to remember that solving equations brings up the theme of Algebra 2, which is making true statements. We always want to be making true statements, so anytime we're talking about solving equations, we're trying to make true statements. We're trying to find the values of x that will make this statement true. So we want to keep that in mind the whole time we're doing the problem. So for this example, we're stating excluded values. Stating excluded values means we're finding the domain restrictions. And the domain restrictions occur because we can't divide by 0. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying what values will make my denominator equal to 0. The only variable in the denominator is x plus 3. So the domain of this problem is that x cannot be equal to negative 3 because negative 3 will make the denominator equal to 0. So now that I have found my excluded values, I want to find my common denominator or my least common denominator. And I'm looking for the least common denominator for the entire problem here. So my least common denominator. I'm going to look at my first term and say, what's the denominator there? It's x plus 3. My next term has a denominator of 6. X plus 3 is not included in that, so that's completely new. 18 is actually 6 times 3, so the factor 6 already appears, so I now just need a factor of 3. So that means my least common denominator is 18 times x plus 3. So now that I have that least common denominator, I'm going to take that least common denominator and I'm going to multiply both sides of my equation by that least common denominator. So that is 18 times x plus 3 and 18 times x plus 3. Both sides get multiplied. That means every term in my equation is going to be multiplied by 18 times x plus 3. So that means I will have 18 times x plus 3 times 4 over x plus 3 plus 18 times x plus 3 times 5 over 6 is equal to 18 times x plus 3 times 23 over 18. So if I look at this, I'm going to cancel out common factors between the numerator and the denominator. So I will be simplifying. 18 and 6 have a factor of 6 in common, leaving me with a 3 up here, and the 18 and 18 cancel out. So that's going to make my first term 18 times 4 plus 15 times x plus 3 is equal to 23 times x plus 3. 18 times 4 is 72 plus 15x plus 45 is equal to 23x plus 69. I'm going to gather x's on the right and I'm going to gather constants on the left. So that'll give me 8x on the right and 48 on the left, giving me x is equal to 6. So now that I have solved my equation, I need to make sure I check my answer so that I am making a true statement. Does this make a true statement? There are a couple things that can go wrong when you're checking. The first thing is that when you plug 6 back in, it doesn't make a true statement. That would make 6 not a valid answer. The other thing is if when I plug 6 in, one of my pieces of this becomes undefined, that would also make not make a true statement. So that wouldn't work. So now I'm going to check x is equal to 6. So 4 over 6 plus 3 plus 5 over 6 is equal to 23 over 18. That's 4/9 plus 5 over 6 is 23 over 18, or 8 over 18 plus 15 over 18 is equal to 23 over 18. 23 over 18 is equal to 23 over 18. That's true. So x equals 6 is the solution to the problem. It's the value of x that makes a true statement here.